helps to take them out.
Yes,
I mean,
that's... Well, no, it's very easy to take them out is the issue.
yes. So, no, we brought our own snacks, as it were.
Oh,
Excellent.
speaking of, I do have a companion or two that I wouldn't mind bringing with me to Reno. Would that be all right?
Of course. In fact, I bring whoever you would like. And, like, he kind of gestures over to, like, Pierre Proof, which is just kind of stood in the corner, like that same clicking of his gun. You know, you really haven't dealt with the fallout of him. He knows people die.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he's maybe not there, but he's
just watching all of that from the corner.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, just
It was a monster, man.
yeah, it really was. It's bring everyone, honestly, whoever you want. The more people I could show this to, maybe someone other than myself could, talk some sense into you.
Yeah, we'll probably leave one of us here to be a protector. I don't want to leave the area completely empty.
Well, I know that Walt here has been pretty much the shepherd of this flock for quite a long time. He can get a chance to visit me in Reno if he wants, but leaving him would be fine with me.
Well, if we're going to leave him behind, would you mind freeing his companion?
It's already been done in the middle of the party.
All right.
I know not to spur prize ponies.
Fair enough.
You don't have something of a pet problem here, but, to each their own.
Pet problem.
Oh, yes. Those are some exceptionally fine pets.
Understandable tensions given the situation, but as you are aware, sometimes treaties are unnecessary, and compromise means both sides don't really get what they want sometimes, but both sides do survive to see the next evening.
A definition of a good deal. No one getting what they want.
Yeah. We laughed in a very Ventrue way.
Laughs and ventures, yeah.
That's
I feel like in my bones.
But no, that's fine. I came bearing gifts. I know that we got a little ahead of ourselves, one way or the other, but I did bring engineers as well. You seem to have a sewage problem.
It is on the list, yes, of issues. It's one we had started to tackle.
I have brought one of my very special gifted individuals, and they've already provided a well. We found water for you here in town. You don't need to bring down as much as you think. It will not support a large amount of people, but you could at least wash some of the filth down the street, if it were.
Oh, the very least.
Excellent.
Yes, I would leave her and a few engineers. The stink is unpleasant to us, but there's some science.
You'd think you would get used to it, but
You don't.
You don't.
Yeah,
you
you
don't.
really-
It's been like a week, and it's still bad.
It hangs in the air, doesn't it?
It's heavy.
Well, it's not
Yes.
just not just in the air. It hangs in the nose. It hangs in the back of the throat.
Yes. It's like a soiled
It's
moo
shocking
hanging in
sometimes
the
that-
wind. It's just,
Barbie's like, I don't get it. I'm sorry.
He just
yeah, all right, yeah.
smacks dust off his shoulder. I feel like we're fine.
But regardless of if you decide to take my more than generous offer, you still will be tied to my court up in Reno.
Yes.
So you need to come up to a standard. This will be free. Nothing is asked in return. It's just the niceties, and also honestly, the health of your livestock. I can't believe they've actually been able to propagate to this filth.
Never underestimate the willingness of
Yeah.
humans.
There's only a couple of ways to beat the boredom of the world. So
It's true.
When you fucking slop, you become a pig. So, let's hope that at least that will be the beginning of a fruitful relationship, one way or the other.
I agree.
Are you willing to receive my gifts? No vampires, all human.
Yeah, absolutely. Any help that we can get,
Do you have an overseer, or should they just refer back to Rusty?
Yes, ask for Juan.
Juan.
He is incredibly gifted when it comes to this stuff. He just needs the direction. You can see, and I point to the building that they're building.
Yeah, right. It's
I was like, it was started about
Always.
it. It was started about 2 days ago, and it's already as you can
2
see.
days. Oh, he is quite gifted.
Yes. So if you give him the direction and the floor plans, and you tell him where to go and what to do, him and his men will, no doubt, be able to take care of it.
Quite a resource. In fact, I'm looking around at this palace, and I must say the craftsmanship is from old Europe. You see Gran kind of like brighten up on that. He's like, well, I mean,
It is.
no expenses been spared.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
No expense was spared.
Yeah, right. You know,
Can confirm.
Yeah, right. They're thinking of getting me, shoes that have Italian marble at the bottom. of
That way, when he
base.
walks, it rings.
Such a beautiful sound, honestly. Am I coming too?
Do you want to come or do you
I
want to
don't
stay?
think
It's really up to you, I think. I mean,
c-
you could probably use some time to catch up with your boy, I'm sure.
you just see the
Or
big
if you want your
bulky
boy to
one,
come see
you
the
know.
new city, I mean, it's really between the two of you. I don't feel strongly one way or another. But
Yeah, I mean, even if he's up for traveling at this point, I mean,
hey, how are you feeling, Clive?
Big.
Okay. Well, yeah.
He like flexes one pec and just kind of looks at it and pushes it down, and the other one comes up. And he's like, strong,
You are big and you are strong. Yes.
good.
Okay. It's become monosyllabic, so
I
that's.
like it.
I think he needs a nap.
Who knows what he evolve into? But like he just kind of had a rebirth, so he's working out all the different
Yeah.
bells and whistles that come with him. We stay.
Okay, perfect. Well, and enjoy. I believe I'm going to retire for the evening.
It has been one of those nights, hasn't it?
It has. Sore from all the cane work.
It was impressive.
Thank you.
Your girls had kind of passed out. Obviously, there's been some feeding and some, safe feeding. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they've like a wounded soldier of a bottle of beer at the end of the night. They are practically tapped out, and so it's up to you guys what you'd like to do.
I apologize for all the sniffling.
Well, that's quite all right, madam. The desert can be surprisingly dusty.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
if
shocking.
Barnaby Rose, if you want to discuss anything before the evening is out.
Yeah,
I know there's
he
been a
bent
lot.
his way
There's
and-
been a lot that has been discussed. So if you want to meet me in my study, if you
I mean, it might not be a bad idea for us to touch base before we head out on this trip.
yes, I agree.
Yeah.
All right?
All going up to the study.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just come up. I pour a couple glasses of brandy.
So-
Barnaby's is like to the top.
Like a sippy cup.
Yeah.
Right top of the glass.
A light drink before.
A light drink. Nice.
The fire is crackling. I think this is probably the first time you guys have all seen his study. It's a-
Dude, it's so nice.
Yeah, it's beautifully old world. There's a little bit of jealousy does go across you, Rose. Like you have a nice setup, but there are still like almost like bunk beds made for your girls.
Yeah.
You do have the additional space, but it's not nearly as lavish. This is not just made for his taste. This is practically a surprisingly good replica of what was.
Feels like
previous.
you're in Boston when you're in there.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I think is unsettling with me right now, as we're about to head up to his city, is how badly he's pushing for us to be Camarilla.
Well, Camarilla is insistent
Yeah.
on many things. There's nothing they can do. They can't force their hand on the Anarchs, but they can make it as incredibly uncomfortable for the Anarchs as possible in the hopes that wear away the resistance, and eventually, when they stop resisting, they just kind of amalgamate back into the Camarilla. It happens. happens. There's an ebb and a flow to it. There are anarch cities that exist in small pockets that have, upheld it, but sometimes you see a branch of anarchs and the Camarilla just absorbs it.
Well, I'm just some of the stuff that he had to say. Well, to be honest with you, it did make a little bit of sense, but I'm concerned that the attempts at persuasion are only going to become more and more insistent and more, how do I put it nicely, politely, aggressive.
There will be tensions. There will be more discussions, and there will be difficulties within that. But you see, what we have that the other anarchs haven't had is we're in a town where the Camarilla has not yet propagated.
Mm-hmm.
Usually in these cities, the anarchs only really come out when the infrastructure is built. We're building it ourselves. So this gives us a little bit of a head start and an ability to kind of thread ourselves into the town with deeper roots.
Mm-hmm.
So there's hope within that.
Yeah. I mean, I know that as far as they're concerned, this is not an ideal situation, considering in the proximity to a Camarilla city, but perhaps we can persuade this prince to come to enjoy working with us.
That is almost a necessity, I would say.
Yeah.
We have to prove ourselves in his eyes, and we have to go against, his, hundreds of years of tradition. It's a hard spell to break, but I think more than anything, he respects survival and success.
Mm.
So his worry now is that we will fade away, we will buckle, and we will fail. And within that failure is the lost opportunity that he sees within us, yada yada. But if we don't, he'll have to admit to himself that there are other ways to do things.
Right.
But what if we do, and he doesn't agree that we do? Like if we can prove to him that we're self-sustaining, that we can do the things that we need to do. And what if he's just like, nah, I don't trust you guys? And then we walk out of there, or we don't walk out of there.
We'll walk out of there. I've talked to Cap enough at this point. If he wanted to kill us, he would have killed us the moment we declared anarch.
I think because he thinks he has a chance of changing our minds. And at some point, he may believe he doesn't have a chance of changing our minds anymore, and it's easier to get rid of the problem than deal with it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I would agree with that. But he helped write the Convention of Thorns, which means that he believes in it, which means that since it has been signed and declared, he'd be going against himself and his beliefs and the beliefs in the Camarilla. And part of that deep love that he seems to have for the Camarilla is within the treaties and the power structure and the hierarchy. So to break that would be to be a hypocrite to the things that he has done.
The only concern that I have there is because he helped write it, he would know all of the loopholes and the ways to get around things while keeping to the traditions. So just keep an eye on that, I suppose.
But then true. Of course I'm keeping an eye on it.
And
You think I'm not looking for my own loopholes?
No, of course.
It's pretty solid, though. It's good stuff.
I'm not trusting enough.
I could literally hand you the book right now if you want that.
I feel like we should plan for the worst, and he gave us the out of bringing who we want. I think we should bring enough in case it goes down.
Pierre will be accompanying us.
Yeah,
What about Shove?
He might do better here building followers while we're out of town. He's
Yeah.
extraordinarily powerful when he's powerful, but right now I don't know how much help he would be.
And I feel like Johnny Rattlesnake would be out of place we would probably not want to bring him there.
Yeah,
I'm
Johnny
surprised. I
Rattlesnake
wouldn't
and
push my luck on that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we have them at all.
yeah, Johnny Rattlesnake and Thistle should probably stay here with Rusty.
So it's gonna be us, Carr.
I think Carr wanted to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could
so-
convince him.
Yeah.
Is Grant coming?
You could
No.
convince him too.
We
You-
could, but I
Or-
think Pierre.
Pierre be enough.
Pierre definitely. This is, we're barons now, so we discuss these things. As
Barnaby pipes up a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Baron.
Ventru to Ventru, I trusted the situation. He's been very forthcoming. The contracts are signed. There will be tensions. There will be things that happen. But I don't fear. I feel like most of the immediate danger has passed us.
Yeah.
But as he said, we have to sign contracts. The ink has to dry. This, that, and the other. These are things that have to happen. But
I mean, if you want to do it the way that you want to do it, relying on his words, he's going to hold you to the paperwork. He's going to hold you to the, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're catching him on his own technicality. So you're going to have to go through all the red tape to
Yeah.
create, what you will find out. But
yeah, I will have to, shake hands. I will have to, declare ourselves, an independent city. With that comes the, how much the Camarilla can influence us, and how much, if they call upon us, we must answer. How much time we have, it's a lot, but it's good because that means that things like it means that we are anarch. We have our autonomy. We have our individuality. We will be able to build how we want to build when we want to build. Now, I have my reservations and my worries, and I will be keeping a close eye on these, the conversations that are being had, and I'm not going to put ourselves in, while I respect his help right now, I'm not going to accept it to the point that I'm indebted to him.
Yeah, I don't recommend any of us getting tangled up with boons or anything like this on that trip.
No.
No more boons.
Yeah, no, we don't want any of those over our heads, particularly to this guy.
It would be smart to avoid blood packs, spoons, and bans, yes.
Yeah, as much as possible.
A favor in good faith is a favor in good faith.
and that's what he said about,
Yeah.
the irrigation, essentially, what's going to happen to your town.
He's worried, if I could be blunt with you. He's aware that being as he wrote the Convention of Thorns, us being a thorn right now is a result of him, which means that the Camarilla is going to ask how this was possible.
Right.
And when they find out that Cap is, back in circulation, when he talks to them, he has to explain this to them, which means that for his own benefit and well-being, we have to be strong. It's a bit
Right.
of a catch-22.
Sure.
If we pop up and we're weak and wild and feral, it comes into question why the Convention of Thorns is brought into the first place, because we are untamed, we are, uncontrolled. But if we do it the right way, and we are strong, although the Camarilla hates the idea, it proves that the Convention of Thorns is adequate.
Right.
So, by strengthening us, he strengthens his own case.
Right.
And if he wants to stay a prince of his city, he'll need a pretty strong case. So that's why I feel most of the immediate danger has passed.
Right. Okay. Well, it's gonna
Or he could kill us all.
yeah.
And
well,
I'd say
let's-
I'd take a
I would-
drag for stick around.
Yeah, I would really much rather that not be a thing that happens.
I can't tell the future, but
I
I will go alone if you want me to. This is
no, I think that if we're gonna do this, then I think that this is something that we all need to be part of. We all need to sign on that line.
Agreed.
and thank you guys. I'm a Ventru, obviously. I'm a businessman. Benoit, my sire, had a lot of faults, but he was right a lot of the time as well.
Mhm.
And one of the things he told me was that when it comes to being a Venturan, being part of our clan, is that there's a hunger in all of us, but the Ventrue thirsts twice.
Right.
Once for blood and once for power. In that way, we carry two beasts. I will not pretend that I don't have that desire, that I don't want to lead and rise above my station. However, unlike Benoit, I am okay with sharing that power so long as I have some of it. And-
Yeah, I don't think that there's any misunderstanding amongst us.
But also, I don't think I could do this without you guys.
Right.
I'm in over my head, believe it or not.
Right. Well,
None of this was in the itinerary.
yeah, it's been a lot, and I think that if building a city of your own was easy, then I feel like there are a lot of people, a lot of vampires, a lot of kindred who would be doing that, and that doesn't seem to be the case. So, if this was easy, I don't know that it would be as much fun.
Oh, yeah, I'm having a blast. What about you, Barnaby?
So much fun.
I mean, at least you have a place to sleep at night, right?
Not complaining.
You have a job,
Don't
you have
confuse
a-
that with complaining.
No, I'm just saying,
I just know we're going to Reno, and I'm hoping we get back. That's all.
Yeah, no, I have no doubt that we'll get back. It'll be the state that we're in when we get back.
Agreed.
we will return from Reno.
Yeah.
In a box?
Yeah.
If we don't, I will be the one that doesn't return.
I'm just concerned about being in a pouch.
Yeah, exactly. One box, all of us.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah,
about this
right.
big.
A burlap sack. So. But, like I said, he's a Ventrue and true to his word. So,
Mhm.
Before we head out tonight, I'm gonna head over to Cowboy and just see what he's got going for the week, and also check with the day sheriff and make sure that he just kind of keeps an eye out on what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
smart idea.
Lovely. You're starting to put together more and more pieces of your town, how it needs to work. I like that a lot.
I'm just gonna go over some more of the Covenant of Thorns or the Convention of Thorns, and
Turn in for the night.
yeah, just highlight the important parts and make sure I understand the words, and I'll just probably spend the evening until I have to go to bed.
You're
Just
just-
looking at like different Camarilla contracts and treaties,
Sure.
just preparing myself so that I'm not overwhelmed when I get there.
The tax code is pretty complicated. Like it's like I'm not even joking. Like there's certain things.
It filters through like
Yeah,
4
right.
times.
Right.
what's
yeah.
what's expected and what's not expected. And
Barnaby
where
visibly starts falling asleep.
yeah, yeah, right. No, you're going to be going like but
No,
like
Bobby,
as-
this is actually super
Listen-
interesting.
listen to me.
yeah.
You see, at a 3.5%, but going through the barons that are, if there's 4 barons, so it's
I think
45% of the 3.5%.
I gotta go.
And then a 30% interest rate. What? I look up and no one is there.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're just
one,
split.
one thing you do catch, you catch one thing that kind of it shows you maybe you do need to look deeper into this document. It's about the taxation code of like what is expected and when it comes to dealing with times of war or distress, of what you would think it would be helping the anarchs. Like you think that the Camarilla, like the way it's worded, it states that the Camarilla is responsible for the safety of the anarchs within their own territories. But then if you look at it closer, the exact statements really are that they can use the anarchs for like fodder and first troops.
Uh-huh.
Part of the protection is just to be sent out to slaughter first. You know what I mean? Like, so you're looking at like really flowery written things that there are obvious pit holes and obvious Camarilla leaning places. If you don't make your argument right,
Yeah.
he will, you don't know if that was him exactly, but you do start to see that
Yeah.
it's a lot of double speak in there. There's a lot of provisions, and that first one gives you an inkling that it's probably written higher for the Camarilla side, just something to keep, You know what I mean? Just it doesn't really affect what you're currently working on because you're not in a time of strife. But you can see where the manipulation and all that power can start coming from.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right, Rose. All right, we're gonna go to Barnaby after that because I know you got a couple people to check in too. Rose, what are we doing?
I'm going to go back to my rooms, and I need to have a conversation with the girls. I need to find out who, or if anyone, wants to go, and I need to find out if they do decide to stay, who's going to keep an eye on them. I assume Rusty would, but Rusty's going to have a lot on his plate, so I don't want to make assumptions in that direction. So,
They're both a little drunk. I mean, it was a party. They were
Yeah.
supposed to be drunk. You know, they're both a little drained. You know what I mean?
course.
Like there's a, a bandage around Philippa's. Actually, two little marks. Apparently, people found Philippa quite amusing.
yeah, it's actually, Rose does not approve of that, actually.
Right.
A bit territorial when it comes to that one in particular.
Well, you also didn't have a lot to choose from. You had to offer up.
Yeah, no, I realize that, but it doesn't mean that Rose is totally okay with it either.
Sure, sure.
You know.
Right. Well, the girls are kind of just humming around. You can. They're still kind of dancing to to Alistair's thrumming beat that he had with his cane. It was a surprisingly amazing, dexterous dance. You
You
know,
know, those YouTube videos where they make the beat with the pencil.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was quite, it was stirring. I mean, especially coming out of like what you felt was a very uptight Ventru, you know, seeing, but it was ceremonial. It was, you know, I mean, this is the correct way to do it.
It was
and very,
correct, yeah.
in the proper time.
For sure.
So, yeah, the girls are just kind of giggling and laughing to themselves.
I want to pull Philippa in particular aside.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
And I need you to be honest with me. Don't tell me what you think I want to hear. I'm not interested in that right now.
She does like the drunk lean in, like, you know, when like, okay, we're going to be serious, you know.
In order to be in my employ, let's call it, you had to give up things and you had to change things about yourself.
Yes.
Has it been worth it?
It was in New York. I'll say this. If you don't turn me soon, I think it will take so much time for this town to catch itself up to itself. To be you have all the time in the world. I don't. So I think what you're building towards is going to be worth it. Yep.
Okay.
But I'm not finished. Look at me real quick. If you don't turn me, I'll be an old woman, still gracious, still lovely. But when everything's built and everything's back to being beautiful, my bones won't let me go dancing anymore. And what I saw downstairs was fun, hospitality, greatness. And I'm looking, it was kind of like a window back to kind of what we used to have.
Well, I do want you to think back to the conversation that we had where I told you that this was not going to be simple. This was not going to be easy. So while I appreciate the things that you feel like you've had to put up with since we've arrived here, I do encourage you to consider the cost, because it is a great cost. And among friends, Philippa, I'm going to suggest that you not tell me when is a good time to make a decision that will affect you for possibly eternity. That is something that will come in time, and it will come at the right moment, and it will come at the right place. And right now is not the correct time. You'd be a fledgling in a town with 20 people in it, and that math doesn't math. It doesn't make sense. There's barely enough people here to feed the creatures that are already here. I can't have a fledgling because you need so much when you're first turned. So I can't do it right now. I can't do it.
She kind of pouts a bit. You know, that drunkenness is still in her.
Of
She's
course,
like,
of course, yeah. But I just, like, you just need to understand that the intention is still what the intention has always been. I just wanted to have this conversation with you because I want to make sure that the things that you gave up so far have continued to be worth it as far as you're concerned.
She kind of gestures to the room. Well, I'm in a mansion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, interesting dignitary showed up today. It looks kind of cool. We're building a bar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of like that Barnaby feller. Don't tell him,
Never.
but he's he's kind of in a fun way. Like he just is so much not like the people in suits.
Of course. Yeah.
Like I've always been into tattoos, and he has a really neat one.
He does. But again, I
Rose doesn't approve.
no, Rose. It's fine.
Well, she would like a rebel. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of
Like
course
that
she
would
would.
For
that
sure.
would make perfect sense. Why?
Yeah. But yeah. Do you think that you could handle a couple of days travel
Sure.
to Reno?
Yeah. Like in a carriage?
Probably not. Probably horseback.
Shit.
I
it
will.
never came up before, but I've never.
I will.
There wasn't a whole lot of. I mean, I kind of ride in carriages. I can go, but I don't know how to ride a horse.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Side saddle.
Yeah, I guess learning on the job is the only way to do it. But if you would rather stay
Oh
here,
no, I'll go. I heard him talking about Reno. He. I mean, this is the bite from him. She rubs it almost like too fondly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't know if there was a little bit of
Yeah.
vampirism, trickery in there,
Oh.
or even worse, she found it fond. You know.
Yeah, I think that Rose would expect there to be a little bit of trickery happening. So
Sure. But no, he made it sound wonderful. Of course, I mean, when we finally make this, I still hope that we travel.
yeah, I mean there's always going to be that opportunity. Especially when your time comes to change, there will be a time where you decide to leave and forge out on your own. So it's good for you to make friends in the circles that we travel in.
Sure.
They're quite far-reaching sometimes.
Yeah, I'll come. Can it be a nice horse? Do they make nice horses?
Well, they certainly make some that are a little bit more docile, so we'll make sure that you get one of those.
She nods, just accepting what's going on.
Yeah. But for now, I suggest that you go to the kitchen and perhaps find some red meat and have something to eat, and then get some sleep. You're going to need it.
She throws her high heels on her, walking barefoot down the thing.
Yeah.
She's gonna make herself a sando before she goes to bed.
Yeah.
Anything else you are interested in doing?
Not really. That was kind of the big conversation
big-
that Rose
big
wanted
piece.
to have.
All right. Barnaby. Who are we checking on?
Yeah.
Who are we checking on?
Sorry, that was gross. Sorry.
Ew.
I
First,
know.
I'd like to go see Cowboy.
He's in his shop. He's laying down the new story. Strangers coming into town. It seems to have a positive. like new society, joining our small town. Like he's eating a bit of the, drinking a little bit of the Kool-Aid.
I need him to do that.
Yeah,
so.
right.
Yeah.
Barnaby.
Cowboy. How's it going?
We're still alive, so it's pretty good.
I agree with you. I see the story looking good. I like the positive spin on it.
You like the picture? And, like he kind of points down to it, and like one of his kids said, like as the two groups kind of met.
I think it captures the whole thing. That's great.
Do you need me to run a specific story? Or?
So we're leaving. We're going to go up to Reno for a little bit to kind of maybe play some politics,
Smooth this out.
Yes. So while I'm gone, I think continue doing what you're doing. Spin the stories positively. We want to keep everybody, happy and let them know that things are coming. We want to keep them opposed to it, but we don't want to tell them everything. So, discretion in regards to our friend, discretion in regards to specifics what we're going out for, but maybe talk a little bit more about. We have some folks coming in that he's going to be providing that will help us with the infrastructure a little bit. They're going to work on some of the plumbing and things to help out, to get the stink out of the street and kind of get us moving in a forward manner.
That'd be nice. I'm tired of the smelling Greg down the street.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed, but there's quite a few kids here, so we make a mess ourselves. And I had kind of an idea. Maybe it's like he goes over to his collection of books, and one of them is a map of the USA. It's not very good. He's like, we're like around right here, and he points to modern day Nevada. And he draws with his finger like a line up to, and I'm thinking this is the area that you're going to be in. What if we put enough of my guys in a straight line there that you could relay messages quickly?
As long as it doesn't deplete the amount of people that you have in here to a level that you can't also keep an eye on some of the folks, some of the guests we have here.
I'm thinking it's going to take at least 10 for the distance to make any sense. I think I could spare 10.
Is that safe?
Well, anything can happen out there. And also, I guess the thing that you'd be worried about was if the message got intercepted.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Just something I've been mucking about with.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put that in place. But again, make safety a priority. Send guys that are a little more experienced. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
And then here's some money
Yeah.
to help out with just the things that are going to be going. And
Yeah.
you can just going to please get some food. Please get things for
Sure.
the guys. Make sure that they're all settled and make sure that they're prepared for their trip if they go.
He goes over to one of the way a printing press is. So there's lots of levers and things, and he kind of pricks one of the strings that go into it and feels it vibrate. Yeah, I think I got an idea. I think with a little bit of money, I think that we can do something. Money helps. Money always helps.
I will continue to support you.
He nods. Starts sketching out. What you see is a can that he sketches out, and he pulls string, and he's doing it. And he's doing the distance of
Perfect.
what it would be to have a long, very very long.
When you had
distance
said the
actual-
line thing, I was like, is he going to put in a telephone line right now?
Yeah,
Dude, it's so funny that Barnaby has a soft spot for orphans.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But
Yeah.
It's so
Right.
funny because
Yeah.
when you first meet him, he walks over a guy getting mugged, and you're like,
Not
"Gotta
my
be careful,
problem.
not my problem."
If it was a kid, maybe
Yeah,
you
if
would
it
have
was
helped.
a- if it was a little Oliver Twist kid, you'd be like, "Hey,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
the hell's
Is
going
Barnaby
on?"
running Oliver Twist in this town?
Yeah, right. That's pretty much it.
You are.
Awesome.
If you want more money,
Yeah, right. Yeah. But you've seen that contraption. I mean, people have done that in different wars through history, to make sound travel. But he's thinking about a very long distance. Yeah, with multiple people to pick up the message.
Like a repeater.
Yeah, essentially. So he's doing calculations. The last thing that you notice before you leave, he's doing good calculations, math you don't understand. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so he's checking into a book, and so obviously this kid, what education he got was
Well, Sister Joan, obviously.
yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
The first thing he wanted was a school, so he's trying to work out the idea. You don't know how successful that's going to be, but he's scrappy and young, full of vinegar and spit. So yeah, no, you leave that very cozy. That's something that does dawn on you when you walk out essentially the tent. There's always there's a kindness in there. You know, there's a feeling of like almost like it's the only place in your town yet that feels warm.
Right.
'Cause it's just a bunch of kids, and you hear like subtle laughter as you're walking out the flap of the tent. Where are you going to next?
Sheriff.
Sure.
What's his name again?
Spur.
Spur. That's right.
He's got his you come in. He's got his feet up on your now desk, but you guys are sharing a desk at this point. And he's like highlighting stuff, and he's working on obviously a case of some sort.
Good
Yeah,
evening.
yeah.
Good evening, Sheriff.
Oh, I guess your shift's starting. How are your friends?
Everybody's good. The guests are accommodated. We are going to be leaving town for a little bit. I don't know how long as of right now.
You know, they dropped off quite a few heads, and I didn't want to say nothing, but one of those heads looked suspiciously like a child that I think that we're missing.
Probably. There's a good chance that that might be the case. I can't say that there's much we can do about this right now. Not to be sounding cold, but we're in a tight spot and we need to work out of it. And the only way to do it is stay a little level-headed, kind of lick our wounds and move forward.
He closes the sheet that he was working on. Obviously, that's the report. You know, he's doing what his job's supposed to be.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like he has descriptions of all the people that came in with with Cap. You know, you see that he
doing
is
his-
diligent.
he's doing
You know,
his thing.
he is. You know, he's not you may not like him, but he's not a shitty person at his job.
No, I definitely appreciate your diligence, Sheriff. And while I'm gone, I apologize for not being able to cover my side of it, but I do appreciate that you can take that up.
Well, I'll keep the lights on for you.
I trust that that's true for sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, keep an eye on the guests. We don't know their status. We don't know. My assumption is they're here to help us. They're going to provide some services for us in the meantime while we're away. Just, keep things moving forward. And if you can get anything, if anything seems out of sorts, please get that back to Cowboy as soon as possible.
That I'll do.
And Cowboy will be working on some type of communication system, if you will.
Really? Like smoke signals?
No. No.
You ever scream into a can?
Yeah, right,
I don't even. I know not even to explain this to this
Yeah,
guy.
right,
Like,
yeah.
it's just not.
It would be super high technology
Yeah.
for the time. You know what I mean?
We'll just say it's a runner. Do you have weapons?
Oh, yeah. He goes and gets a little key out of his pocket and undoes like a floor to ceiling kind of like cabinet essentially. There's rifles, is most of it. There is one gun belt with his.
Any small pistols?
He's got a 6-shooter.
Can I get the
Sure.
sheriff? Can I take the small 6-shooter?
Oh, yeah. He bounces one on his side. That's my spare, so sure.
I'll take it.
Rounds.
Yeah, I'm good. And I'd like to go back to Cowboy's office.
Okay. Cowboys. He's gotten much further on it. Like
Yeah.
he's really like at this point he's putting 2 like milk cans together, and he has the other kid on the other side, and he's like, "No, it can't be this kind of can." Hey, what's up?
Hey, so I know we talked about it, and our guests that are going to be here, we don't feel like they're going to be dangerous, but just in case, have you ever worked a firearm before?
Puts his hand out.
I'm sure he has.
Yeah, right. Like,
Yeah. So I give him the 6-shooter. This is for emergency purposes. Do not use this for anything other than your guys' lives in danger.
Yeah. He goes, yeah, of course. The only thing that kind of just misses his spell, because he is looking great, you know what I mean? And he like goes to put it into his pants, and obviously those pants are too big for him, so the trousers just drop right in front of you. And, you
I
know
thought you were
what
gonna
I
say he's
mean?
gonna
Like,
shoot himself in the foot. I'm
yeah,
like, fuck.
right, yeah,
Right,
right.
yeah.
No, I mean, like, he quickly like puts them back
I
up.
think he's at a reasonable age to get a gun.
Yeah,
in that
especially
time
during this
frame.
time period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you're always constantly blown away with his sophistication and his adulthood until it's moments like that. Then you're like, oh God, this really
still a
is
kid,
still
yeah.
a
Just a
kid.
yeah.
You know that you're putting quite a lot of responsibility on, but that's what he's wanting. That's what I mean.
I
Like,
think he can handle it.
yeah. So it's like, no, stupid drawstring.
Well, maybe we just keep that in a safe spot.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe for the best. And he sheepishly kind of puts it into his drawer. It's nice. The one nice thing he has is the desk, and he kind of nods. It's okay.
Alright.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I will see you guys soon.
Okay.
And then I leave.
All right. Alistair, as you're working, unless you go, what up?
What happened to the dog?
You haven't looked.
Coyote?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
like to take a look around.
Yeah, I just kind of poke out and just see, hey, how's Coyote doing before I leave?
You see like a bunch of the youngest orphans there. They're just all like cuddled up to him next to this old like potbelly stove. You know, I mean, he's kind of curled up and looking at. He's like licking one of their heads. You know, what I mean, and an arm around it. The kids have just kind of embraced this thing. Still hasn't changed back to a human, but he does look up, and there's a moment of.
Yeah.
Right.
I tip my hat at him
Yeah, right,
anyways.
and there's a
Yeah.
you know he becomes more protective, almost like fatherly.
Which is great.
yeah.
Cool.
Coyotes they're interesting. They're interesting. I like them. But yeah, one thing you do notice is that you haven't seen a random man walking around your town, and he doesn't seem to have changed back. You don't know if that's a hindrance because of the way that you guys, healed him instead
he's
of
not
like
completely healed.
it could be a choice. It could be a fixed position. It could. There's many things that could be about that. But yeah, he is still there, and all the kids, he seems to have imprinted himself, and they've imprinted themselves onto him as well.
And then just one last, as I walk out, just, hey, if there's anything cowboy, go to Rusty.
All right. I've been doing that for a long time. So.
Yep.
All right, guys, I think we're going to take our break right there.
And
I
then
think-
we head off to Reno.
Yep, because we're going to be
Oh,
dusting
shit.
up the trails before we move any further. All right. back to Vampires
Welcome back
Every
to
Day.
the Sound of Art.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is
I'm
the-
your host,
The highest of all. art.
Kevin Albrick,
yes, the most unfortunate bald man of all
and
time.
I'm here with Sean Lewis.
What?
It looks the bald cap is
Put
so
my government
much.
name out there. For no
Yeah,
reason?
yeah, yeah.
Right? What the fuck, man? My government name.
It's funny because just that part of your hair is sticking out, so it just looks like you have a really unfortunate.
No, I know.
It's a
It was either
giant-
that or glue it down completely, and
Yeah.
I was like, it's gonna be blue soon,
Yeah.
anyways. Who cares?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's funny. All right, well, welcome on back. All right, guys. I need everyone to give me a rouse check as you guys are all waking up.
I prefer not to.
Or do you want to pick your own?
Oh, let me.
Okay. I know.
Remember your willpower points.
Yep, I do have some.
2.
8.
7.
All right, everyone's in the green. Fantastic, my friends.
I wake up just
Right.
with scattered papers. You know, what? I don't even go to sleep the regular way. I fall asleep on my desk, you know, with
Yeah.
like a bunch of papers and like old tomes around me, and I kind of like I do that thing where I just pop up. It's like,
Yeah.
my neck is all stiff. I'm just like,
As you
it's
get
been
up,
a while.
yep. As you get up, one of the papers is like glued to your forehead. That servant that keeps it. Nope, he takes it off for you as he's walking past you innocently to light your fire for the evening. You didn't hear him come in. Just silently walked in. Hard night, sir.
Sometimes you have to, study until you can't. I'm just pouring a glass of brandy.
You're alcoholic.
Good
I'm,
morning.
I'm immortal. Like, it's 5 o'clock all the time.
All the time, yeah.
You have your
You just-
papers and scratchings. He has a binder. He's like, I thought this might be useful. So
That's a
Slides
rookie
that over.
question. Does alcohol affect us?
when it's done through somebody else, like they drink it first.
Or-
Also,
you
us
can-
or-
pounding liquor doesn't do shit.
No.
well, it
Well,
takes the edge
also,
off.
if you, I think if you have the food and drink, if
yeah,
you can,
Which
you
we
can
do.
get drunk,
Which
yeah.
I do at least.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, like Iron Gullet will allow
Yeah.
it to happen. I always kind of take the approach of Vampire Diaries, like it just takes the edge off.
Cool.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you could drink all day long.
Yeah, you
and
can drink like
finally-
a fish, but you're gonna.
yeah. It just kind of levels.
a mild numbing agent.
Although if you drank it like through another person, like if you got another person,
Drunk and
then imbibed it, then you could get to that level that you're probably looking to get to. The same thing with like cocaine or anything like that. If you have them ingest it
snort
first,
this.
yeah, right. We have entire mechanics that use
Alistair
that,
just likes he can eat food and beverage, and it's one of the things that he really appreciates.
Mhm.
yeah.
So that he can still enjoy that.
Sure,
so like,
sure. It doesn't taste like ash in your mouth.
yeah, I feel like I think I've said it before. With the way I think it is, it's more like it tastes like everything tastes like a LaCroix.
Sure.
So it's just like it almost like it's like a whisper of what it was.
Sure.
But it's there.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like shit.
Which I'm sure that you would hold quite fucking valuable. You
Oh
know
yeah,
what
no,
I
he
mean?
does.
Like, yeah, that's
why he
something-
has his collection of vintage spirits and everything.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I really like that. That's fantastic. And also very, when you start stripping away what humanity gives and takes away, that would be something that would be very, very missed, especially immediately, like right when you first change.
Yeah. And then Alistair switches into the exact same clothes, but new.
Right.
It's like Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
You have every
That
7.
That
Yeah.
button's still missing.
Alistair doesn't even care anymore.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's
Yeah.
got
It's always
so
a
much
third
on his
button.
plate.
It's just, it's a thing.
Yeah, he just puts on a new outfit. It's slightly different. But
Are
he
you
has like
gonna-
the same overcoat and
Yeah.
everything.
Are you going to look at that? Because he's pretty much, he lights the fire and starts walking away, but he handed you a binder.
Yeah, I'm with the glass of brandy while I'm like undressing, kind of multitasking, looking at it. I look at it.
It is all the pages that you found important last night are in great chronological order. It's ripped out of a different book, not the books that you were looking at, because you quickly like thumb through the books that you didn't rip it out of that book. You ripped it out of another book, and like he's italicized and underlined, and there's even like question marks by some of the more fruitful like possibilities and perspectives that maybe you could take.
I fold it and
Mhm.
put it in my breast pocket.
Yeah, the door closes. This guy is he's earning his keep. He's a little weird, but he's
He's a
earning
little
his
weird.
keep.
He's a lot weird.
Yeah.
And then I think I just head downstairs.
All right.
Once I'm dressed and just.
All right. As you get down there, you see Grand is like, "Do you like porridge?" And like he's trying to like, there's like a whole bunch of food in front of, like trying to figure out what this Tremere child of his is going to, like, just blood. You know, like, oh, we'll see.
Tremere, I thought he was Samichi.
Sorry, Samichi.
Sorry, no,
Yeah.
that was a pretty
Yeah.
big difference.
Yes,
in...
it's a huge difference.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Happy travels. We're going to do some experiments here and find out exactly what my son is and his abilities. Hopefully you'll come back and we'll have some new exciting things.
Excellent. Always ask for consent
Why?
because it's your son. Unless you want to put him back in the brig, don't break his mind.
You don't want to go back to the brig, do you? No.
All right, so just ask him how he feels about things. Really connect with your son. Don't tell him. Listen.
Yeah.
Alistair's giving like a damn
Fatherly
therapist.
advice, yeah, right.
Just dead eyes.
So how you make me feel is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
Grand's gonna be so much better of a person.
Yeah, right.
It's a
As he goes-
start. It's a start.
Right.
Yeah, right. I like that you watching this guy like evolve over
Yeah.
Yeah.
time, like someone that's actually tried to become better. It's
Gross at
yeah.
first.
And just the fact that Alistair's been right 100% of the time so far. So now
Yeah.
instead of being like, no, he's like, well,
Well,
perhaps I will
it's-
try it.
Attempt. Yeah. You go out and there is already saddled on a horse, like a brown, like one of those painted brown and white ponies. He looks very natural in the saddle. Obviously, this is not his first time on one. His horse is currently drinking out of the what's going on? Dog
Dog's outside, yeah.
Currently drinking out of the fountain.
It wasn't until right before we went back that they decided they wanted to go out, so that's why they're still outside.
Fair enough.
Yeah. You know, dags.
So you do hear the lapping of a horse, like in essentially a trough, drinking out of this very unfortunate fountain with, independency.
But
I've gone to
Barnaby's fountain?
No,
No.
no, the one,
Oh,
the
oh,
orgy
okay.
fountain. in the
Oh,
front.
that might not be healthy for the horse.
Bad things happened there last night. You do have the other person that looks out of place is Shove. He's kind of leaning against, one of the sides of the house.
Evening, Chubb.
You're awake as well if you want to come downstairs.
Sure.
I think we all just meet,
Yeah.
around this time. We discuss, so.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Ladies, gentlemen, Chubb.
So you're going to be leaving us? I mean, I definitely want to be a person of power in this town, but this is going to create quite a vacuum.
No, why Rusty's staying to keep watch of things.
And we don't expect to be gone for very long.
Yeah, 2 days in, a day there, 2 days out, back within a week.
Any homework you want me to take care of while we're here? I see that we're looking like we've got some new construction men on the team.
Barriers, protective barriers.
That I'll take some white magic. It's been a while.
If you can secure a perimeter or individual buildings if you want, or however you see fit, but protective barriers would be very advantageous for us.
I can do something natural. What are your thoughts on tomato plants? He kind of like looks over to in the distance.
I know Barnaby's a fan of tomato plants.
They creep on the ground.
What, you sleep in a tomato field?
Yeah. Now we couldn't eat them, but I could.
Do you not, Barnaby?
I mean, yeah, but do I like?
I thought it
do-
was roses.
Yeah, well, no, I can't.
No,
'cause I
it
can't have
was
wild roses.
it was a vegetable garden.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's things my people did before they had the power that I have that can make terrain quite hard to traverse. Anything with a long vine I can make agitated easily, grow quickly.
I mean,
Yeah,
dealer's choice. Honestly, whatever he feels best. The best way you can contribute and feel like you're, being productive. But yeah, work on gathering your strength and building protective barriers for the town. We'll be back in a week. Rusty will be here if you have any questions. We're leaving Thistle. We're leaving Johnny Rattlesnake. So vacuum is not quite the right word.
Hey, Shove, can we stay away from wild roses, please?
Oh, this is not my territory. That's the mother of flowers world.
Just saying it out loud.
Just saying it to say it.
Yeah.
No, I can deal with the devil's fruit. Tomatoes
Comfy.
easy, they're easily to change.
Use one as a pillow.
But
Yeah,
when we
right.
get back, we should have freedom, autonomy, and
Our heads, hopefully.
our heads.
He walks away before you finish the statement, and you got that back. He's like,
Yeah.
I'll work on it. One day, hey, why don't you give me as you're looking? Why don't you give me a wits and awareness roll?
Wits and awareness.
All of us?
No, whoever wants to look. You're looking at
Oh,
him
all
How are we
right.
looking?
as he's walking away.
Shove?
Yep.
Okay.
7.
One success.
Okay.
Okay, so that takes that away.
Fair happened to me too.
3 successes.
Okay.
Beautiful. Always looking for that 3.
Yeah, 3 is a good one.
3 is a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Barbie's gonna have like 5.
God. He's still rolling. All right.
5.
Okay. Called it. Yeah.
Nothing but net.
Yeah.
I have a not. I mean,
That's
my
one
wits
of your
and
best
my
rolls.
wits and roll is that one
Yeah.
is really
It's
good.
been a while since
Uh,
I called it that well.
All right, Alistair, your best look is he's walking with a spring of a step. He doesn't feel like somebody that's been diminished. He's got some confidence.
He's gonna bounce back.
Yeah, right. What you notice, Rose, being a little bit of a fashionista,
Yes.
his trademark now black vest is turning a little bit gray, lightening up. You see Barnaby as he's walking. He's not just walking aimlessly. He's walking to a group of 2 girls and 1 guy. Yeah.
Me.
No. That's what you
Oh,
see.
Shove,
Yeah,
yeah.
Shove is
Okay.
walking.
Oh, I was
towards
like,
that.
Barnaby?
Yeah, I was like, I don't think
Barbie, get back here. We have to leave.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
What are you doing,
Yeah,
man?
Just 30 seconds, guys.
As he walks up, you can see him put a hand on the shoulder and have a conversation. They seem to be very amiable,
Right.
and they all walk off together.
Human?
Oh yeah, townsfolk, people you haven't met.
So he's making friends.
He's
He's building a congregation, I
you,
suspect.
you've come to surmise, at least as a group, that his power comes from devotion to some degree. What he was making forced devotion with his when he was on the train. He's tried a new tactic.
Hmm.
Something to notice and something to see.
Notice and see.
All right.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Barnaby nervously checks his gun, looking at bullets to make sure there's some in there.
You guys are good? You're
No,
all
I'm just
packed up?
saying, it's more
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
feeling,
Like
you
a
know?
tick. Just a,
Yeah, like a fuck, we're about to go get
Right.
wrecked.
all right, I'm ready if you're ready.
So did you get your own horses, or I mean, I have a horse. Are you going to walk?
Oh, yeah, we went to
Booth?
what
What are
was
you
it?
talking about?
The stables.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have stables.
He jaunts with you guys. You know what I mean? Yeah, you do see the other camp is completely set up. You're gonna go get your horses.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, we're gonna horses and show up. Yeah.
Fair enough. The tidiness of the quickness of them setting up their own camp and setting it down. Now that you've seen it broken down, you see in that camp, in that area, there is an honest to God well. Way too much work. Not artistically done at all, as if it was crafted by the mud, as if like when you carve out sandstone and you can just make it into that exact shape that you're looking for. That's how it is. Even the crossbar is just like this one melded, almost like they were touching hot rock and forming it into this shape that they were making. Now you do see the one woman in his group that is not kindred, other than his you saw for a second, maybe 2 episodes, that there was a heartbeat there.
Right, yes.
Yeah, she's looking very provenly at her handiwork, apparently.
Oh.
Alistair takes some of the water, takes a
Sure.
handful of it. And just,
Yeah, it's deep. Like it. I mean,
yeah.
like you
Just
have
takes,
to.
it takes way
Yeah,
too
right,
long.
yeah,
For,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
like I'm cranking for like a minute and a
Yeah,
half.
but it's surprising. I mean, like, how did she
Sure.
straight down? You know what I mean? You don't
Probably
see.
get to it. I'm like,
Yeah, you don't
I will
even.
call it Dasani.
Yeah. Oh, it's wonderfully crisp, even cool. It's nice, and I mean, like, she went down into an aqua filter, but like something else, there's no dirt displaced. It's not like a pile where she like dug it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel
Gonna
like
put
any.
a pin in that.
Very efficient.
Yeah. And she just kind of smiles to herself and looks lovingly up at Cap and gets on her horse.
Cap, shall we lead the way?
So I thought I'd give you a little bit of tour of your new kingdom. Follow the river. What do you think?
Sounds like a great way to start the evening.
Sounds like a great way to get ambushed.
Look at your company. And he like pats his horse, and you see like the dead heads of
Pats
the
the
Indians.
heads.
If you're with me, you're safe.
All right then.
I mean, at this point, any and he like points towards you. Any harm that comes upon you, or being treated to a house of Camarilla, is upon my head. You would have quite an argument in court if I let any harm come to you.
Yeah, that is true. Well, shall we?
Of course.
Do my little prance.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you do bride side saddle, you know.
Maybe he tries to get on my horse with me. Get your own horse.
You know, this horse is just so tired. You know what? It'd be easier just hold on. Let me just
No, no, there's no room. This horse is
No,
tired.
There's room.
Yeah, your horse does naturally pick up your own ideas and takes 2 steps the wrong direction before you're pulled back into the right one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Silly boy.
Up.
You see in front of his men something that you do notice. There's not like conversation, but there are smiles. Like, you know what I mean? He just tips the hat and like creates the same kind of arrowhead figuration. I would ride in the center. Keeps the dust off of you.
Fair enough.
And he like yeah takes off.
Yeah, I say.
I say, yeah. I'm going full tilt side saddle.
Yeah, right. Like hitting the ass with the cane every once in a while to keep up. Yeah, he splits a little bit of.
How is he
blistering
doing
haze. But Rose, your girl is starting to fall a little bit behind.
I will slow my pace to
All
stay
right.
with her.
Yep. Joggling all the wrong pieces are moving at all the wrong times. She's very discombobulated in her body when it comes to this.
My dear.
It's not
what's-
like riding a guy at all.
No.
Although the skill does transfer, though. She will be a much better prostitute after this.
Yeah. So,
Why am I in a skirt? I'm getting blisters in places I don't want them.
well, okay. So just pass me the reins. Give me the reins.
Okay?
And I'll try to take control of her horse a little bit and like slow it down and
And you guys notice if you want.
ease it
I mean,
into
like,
a brisk trot.
Okay. I'd say that Barnaby, just with your ability to talk to animals, you're having a very easy time corresponding with your particular go this way, go that way. It's easy, you know what I mean? Like, so you would probably have the most aptitude to see that one of your people are falling behind.
So I'd like to fall behind as well
Okay.
and come up alongside and maybe have an interaction with the horse.
Sure, absolutely.
Saw, dude.
All right, that would be your interesting persuasion and
Animal kin.
Oh yeah, well that's right. We do
Yeah.
have that animal kin and charisma. You hear in your head, "There's this horse."
Yeah. I'm rolling, right?
Mhm.
Rolling and rolling and rolling.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey.
Magic number. So 5.
There's this horse.
Hey, horse.
Hey, human. Hi.
I feel like horses are a little smarter than that.
Yeah.
Not this one.
God damn it!
Your rider.
You see,
like-
it's
like-
like,
It's like every animal Barbie talks to has just been hit with a rock recently.
Yeah. I just your rider more gentle.
oh, she dumb?
Yes.
Mm.
Just tell the horse to follow you.
Yeah. And
Okay.
and then just can you stay with me?
Well, you ride fast.
Rider gentle.
Oh, okay. He like, kind of looks like like had to have that big old like head to look back at her. All your poor your poor girl. You know how big right. The eyes he's
Knocks
like
herself
don't
out.
boom, and like tries to like time it. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like, and he's like,
Right.
I'm like yes like that.
and he goes in your head. He goes up, down, up, down, up, down. Trying
So
to tell you.
I start
to,
telling
like,
her.
yeah.
I start going with the same
Yeah,
cadence.
right. Up, down, tighter bra, up, down. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Tiger
yeah, right. So that's enough. A good roll, 5 successes. Within all of that, you're able to teach her at least the
Reaction.
Yeah, exactly. To be on the correct rhythm and all of that. All right, you guys.
Alistair's packing a bowl for his pipe, just
Yeah.
very nonchalantly.
Thank you for finishing that sentence. I was like, what? When?
No, he's got a nice little carved, polished cherry wood pipe.
Yeah.
He's just like very casually just full tip, just
Side saddle. By the way, you now ride side saddle. That's just too much fun for me.
just.
And Barnaby falls back into.
Sure, back
Oh,
into it.
Barnaby, and I hit him.
Yes.
Hey, gorgeous pipe. You
Yeah,
know what I
hit that.
mean? Yep.
He
Yep.
drops in the mud. No.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
no, I don't drop it.
We've already established he's good on his horse.
Yeah.
So, like,
Oh,
the ride is beautiful. He gets you to a river that you're aware of, especially from Walt and Rusty. You know that runs through his property. You also know it to be like the biggest tributary in town. This would be where you're going to get all of your water from.
Tributary. Okay.
Mm.
That's like you're walking like through pastures. It's really gorgeous country, you know, and especially by the river. That's where all the growth is. You can see road runners, you know, like taking a drink, and all the wildlife. A few like
not lizards.
yep, you can see in the distance like running wild horses, a few donkey calls. I mean, this is very nice. Like, you chose a wonderful spot. In fact, I wish that talking to the two of you in the beginning, I wish I would have chosen it myself.
Well, it just happened to be the farthest place we could find away from prying eyes, but not. And then you showed up.
I believe you showed up. I've been here for quite a long time.
Well, you know
my
what?
boy.
Well, you haven't. You weren't on the books, is what I'm saying. Camarilla considered you a bit of a
What do
lost-
they say about me? Actually?
I believe the official term is lost legacy.
So they think I've been killed.
I think they just aren't looking for you. So take that however you will.
He kind of leans in. In fact, there's a lot in the court that would wish I would have died. I
Well,
mean, more than a lot. In fact, most.
Well, perhaps that is why when you disappeared, they didn't extend any branches out west.
Like not.
They're more interested in waiting for humans to do most of the grunt work and then, sliding in and, establishing themselves, which, it works.
Not one statue. I mean, not to pat myself on the back too hard, but when it comes to the Inquisition, there wouldn't be a lot of us left if it wasn't for me. I would have figured I would have been immortalized somehow or another.
I know that, but to be completely honest, the only reason I know that is because I read pretty much all of the archives in the Camarilla. Outside of that, you are...
So this is the actual opposite of season 1. You're the guy that read all the books.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right.
exactly.
All right. That's fun.
You different character.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I like it. Yeah.
You are mentioned as well as the other ones are mentioned, but there is a book of your history, but it's not. I mean,
Flattering.
who's checking out that book? Realistically, you know.
It's unfortunate. The amount of pain and effort that went into getting to this new land.
Maybe you should join us.
As I said, yesterday, everything you have done has been for the glory of the Camarilla. You are not what is important to them. It is the entity that is important. You are merely a vessel for which the Camarilla can extend its will and testament to others.
Then-
But for you to, I'm sorry, I wish I had better news for you, but for you to think that there was a mourning period or a shrine, you just kind of evaporated.
Oh, they will eventually remember me. I have a bit of a secret that I keep underneath my hat that I'm going to show you this evening when we arrive back into our midway camp. Little reason why I decided to land here. It's not a thing that they're going to expect. So if they remember me or not, they will fear me. And if we can get a good partnership, one way or the other, they'll feel you too.
Well, I'm excited to see what it is you have planned for us.
Right. Now the ride continues. You do end up getting to Barnaby's ranch because it goes right through.
Walt's
Barnaby.
Ranch.
Yeah, sorry.
Barnaby, you got a ranch?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, Walt's
shit.
Ranch.
I got
This is the first
40
time.
acres.
This is the first time any of you guys are seeing it. It is gorgeous.
Can't wait for it to be an Airbnb.
Yeah, single story. It's a straight ranch house. Really nice old wood that goes against like some of the fences that are around. You can see that he's fenced multiple times throughout the years as he's gotten more and more cattle. You do see a familiar face though that's like bucking and happy to see you. It is Belle, the big ding ding ding,
Oh.
as it strides up to you and like is keeping pace. It looks over to you, Barnaby, and goes, "Hi,
Hey, Belle.
hi, good, still alive."
Yeah, you too.
Yeah,
What
good.
is that?
Yeah, right. Well, you would
You
notice
remember
the
Belle.
I remember. I'm confused about
Yeah,
the
it's just like-
situation.
Yeah, it's keeping pace with your horses. You know what I mean? She's like pregnant now.
Oh, nice.
Whoa.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Lots of fucking.
Lots of fucking.
All right.
Good life.
It's like a telephone. I'm just hearing the other half of this, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh,
What?
Yeah, right.
I pat her head.
You fucked a cow?
Yeah.
It's not mine.
Okay, just making sure. It's
Yep.
a familiarity.
The cow finally gets to the end of the pasture. Goes, okay, bye.
Bye, Belle.
Yeah.
You know, say what you want, Cap, but to think that one kindred was able to build all of that
Yeah. By hand.
by hand shows that we are capable of individuality and autonomy and success within that.
Has Rusty spoken to you about his sire?
We haven't had the chance to sit around and tell ghost stories lately. We've been busy.
The only reason that I am aware of your town or this area
Mm-hmm.
is because I had to put him down.
Oh.
No, it's unfortunate. I'm sure you had your reasons.
He was breaking the masquerade.
Well, Bruja tend to be... Rusty has learned how to handle that beast through faith, not in God, but in the people of the town.
Oh, I watched him destroy the individuals that killed his family. I let it happen. It was a new kindred in my area, so it was very important to me. I was hands off during that time period, still building myself. No court, really, to bring anyone to, except for my followers. But I've seen the resolve of Walt and what he's capable of. Something that you need to be aware of as well. He didn't just kill some people, he reveled in their destruction.
Bruja tend to have a very intense nature when it comes to revenge. Luckily, his fuse is a bit longer than it was, it appears.
I saw him sleeping in a church. That doesn't bother you. The only ones I know that have a strong relationship with the faith of Giovanni. And that's even a group of people I don't want to deal with.
I don't think he has a relationship with God. He has a relationship with the townspeople, and the townspeople need God in order to survive out here. So he's ingratiated himself with the people as best as he can. He feeds them, he houses them if he can, but he's not worshiping at the altar. He's holding on to his humanity.
I'll tell you what. When we get to my town, I'll write down the history of him that I know, that I witnessed. Then you can ask him yourself.
Yeah.
Let's see if he tells the truth.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you don't have the luxury of being in charge of any of these people. So you better know the captain's standing right next to you. Just something to chew on.
I agree.
He settles back and gives back over to you, to Rose, and the horse is doing much better. But you can see that poor girl she's struggling. This is a hard
Holding on to the
ride.
horse's,
You know what I
neck.
mean?
Right, I
she
told her it
don't-
wasn't going to be easy, so.
Right. He comes over. Do you mind if I calm her?
I would rather you didn't.
That's fine. Smiles at you, madam.
Mm-hmm.
She smiles very sweetly at him.
Yeah.
If you need help, we're about 4 hours away. Come grab me.
That's fine. We can slow our pace. She's learning.
Continues. He does slow the entire pace.
Mhm.
You'll see the girl Jocelyn goes, "Oh, why did you not let him help?
Because you don't need help.
Say that to my ass."
You don't. You need to learn how to do this, and now is as good a time as any, and you might as well figure out how to fight through it.
Disjointed, as much as you can be on a horse, you can't exactly kick rocks, but
Yeah.
she does one kick of the course, it's like, kind of takes off.
Yeah. No, there's no need to rely on other people to save you. You have to figure it out on your own.
He nods. You guys continue as only the Wild West could. You find beautiful valleys. You're starting to go through. Following the river, you end up going through many what was it called canyons.
Barnaby and I are just passing a flask back and forth the whole
Just
time.
getting hammered.
Yep. Your snake is like
Boys'
yes.
night.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, your snake is loving this. He doesn't say anything, but you can just feel
the freedom.
Yeah, right. He's very thrilled to be in this open canyon. After a while, you start to hear the sounds of industry, the sounds of pickaxes against rocks. No, we're almost here. This drums back. This is the secret I was talking about.
Canyons?
It's what's within the canyons, my boy. It's what's within the canyons. He comes up, and there's a wonderful little mini town. About cursory glance, you'd say about 40 different miners. There's women and children there that are helping create the food. I set up this mine. I discovered it quite by accident, actually, quite a while ago. And we're mining something very, very important. You can hear the sound of laughter. This is well taken care of people.
Are we talking precious metals, or are we talking?
Oh, the most precious when it comes to us.
Silver?
She's a small one, isn't she? Yes, Miss
Oh,
Rose.
that's why she's a
Silver.
baron.
Yes.
I do say that with a confidence. Just
Right.
We'll say, yeah, we have any, you look over, there's everything else is tents, but there are wooden structures that are out that appear to be sun tight for when he needs to make this kind of journey to his mine or whatever have you. Lodgings will be over there. There's just quite some wonderful people. These are my subjects. These are my, ask anything you'd like out of them. They're wonderfully provided for. They work very hard, but they don't have to stay here all the time. They come back and come in shifts. This is my fall group. We'll be changing them over for summer, let them rest, and then spring. So they do it in shifts. But this is what I want to show you. And he gets off his horse.
Alistair gets off.
Uh, it's almost like walking into a smell that gives you a migraine. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if anyone has that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like it just
It's too bright. Too much.
yeah, exactly that kind of feel. The glare of out of monitor after hour 6. You know what I mean? Like it's just as you walk
You
in.
mean like that light that's been beaming me for the past 2 hours?
Yes, yes, exactly that.
That one?
Yeah.
That one right there?
Yeah, right. So glad we positioned it there. You can see him physically like kind of brace for that too, but he continues to walk down the mine. And what you're seeing is blue, like on the ground and like in veins, like through the walls. I mean, like it's. I don't know anyone that knows. You guys know anything about metallurgy or any reason for anyone to have any education in that?
No.
I mean, Alistair has a cursory knowledge of most things, but you know, he probably researched a little bit. Like he would be aware that mines were a possibility for infrastructure if he came across it, but that's about it. Like he has a cursory knowledge of what's going on. So
He goes over to one of the patches that happen to be on the ground and like reaches into his glove and reaches into his back pocket and puts like on a very thick leather glove and just rubs his hands on this blue mine, on this blue vein. Silver is very powdery when it's that pure, when it's bright blue. He brings it up and goes, "Let me show you something I've been working on." You can see him grimace before, but he goes, dust that he just picked up, and you can see it just sizzle his hand. He concentrates for a second and grows it back. This is pure silver. Pure. Pure enough that it's light enough to atomize.
Interesting.
Anything else will be too heavy. Anything else doesn't make a mist. Cannot create this without this form. And as far as we know, currently, I mean, I have been gone for quite a while, but this is the only way that I know to make it float in the air. Yeah, right? Get it off me, get it off me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's part of the headache. That
now it
you
just
guys
feels
are on.
like like when somebody maces a room and just everybody else is
Still
like,
residual,
Yeah.
That's how it feels now. I'm just like,
Right.
This is my enterprise. This is my linchpin.
Cap, you fascinate, man.
Not only is it worth money, not only is it worth resources, I've never seen it this pure. For any of the history buffs, Vegas is known as the Silver State.
Well, Nevada is.
Yeah. The streets were literally paved with silver because they didn't understand what this blue ore was. So they just would throw it in the street, and
Right.
it would pure 100% pure silver was just being thrown away because no one had ever seen it that pure before. They didn't understand what the blue rocks were.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of potential within this.
You see the glittering, and you see like a guy's like walking past you, and he just has like this huge nugget. Takes both of his arms like of ore, like it's noxious as he walks past you, but like that just seems to be commonplace. There's nobody patting him on the back. The amount of silver this guy must be taking out of the ground for that not to be a big deal.
And you plan on giving it all away.
Giving it away, no. It's not just a resource that I can use to, better word.
He went for it.
He
He
did
almost
went for
got
He
it.
gets them too.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
he was
he?
close.
Yeah,
No.
he gets flies. Yeah, it's not just a resource that I can use as a weapon. It's a resource I can buy anything I want. I don't know how much I'm worth at this point.
When I say give it away, I simply mean that you have the potential to build this industry.
Oh,
But when the Camarilla finds out about it, I mean, the amount of council meetings alone to decide on what we would do with the mine.
Yeah.
Truly, when is the last time you contacted the Camarilla?
oh, I haven't. Not since I left. Never have.
And that would be how many years ago?
50.
I
Actually, no, Plymouth would be further back.
maybe like 100.
Yeah. He says the correct number for Plymouth. Sorry,
He
I
says,
will
he
look
says
that
just
up.
the right number. Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, I'm a good history buff,
Yeah.
but I'm not 100% sure when. Oh, 1942. That's Columbus.
there
So,
are advancements.
hundreds of years.
There are
14.
there.
Sorry,
No, you're-
Yeah.
There are advancements.
Charlie. Sorry.
Everyone, about in character, just everyone going back and forth. Like, when was Plymouth? No, I think there have been significant advancements in technologies recently. They are. I mean, I don't know how much of the modern world you've seen, but on the East Coast, they have. Humans have been doing things that are, for lack of a better word, mystical, magical. They have a way to create light in glass and keep it on.
They don't use any
No,
magic
no,
to.
no oil. No, they use. I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this because it's a lot. You know, lightning in the sky.
Yes.
They can contain it, in a way.
They put lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, essentially. They are able to use electricity, not from lightning strikes, but the same idea, to power things. They've harnessed that power and they can use it to light entire cities without oil, without fuel, without coal.
Do you have any? So I saw your study during the party. I'm sorry, I got a little bit nosy.
Yeah, I've got books on modern inventions in the past 100 years.
That would be something that I would bargain for.
And with those technologies, because I mean, as nice as I'm sure your town is, I mean, Boston was on the cutting edge. The Camarilla also began to change. I myself have been in it for about 50 years, but reading the history and the traditions of it, as industry has hit America, there has been a different way of thinking in the Camarilla, a more capitalist way of thinking.
I wonder where they got that word.
But
Shit.
the issue that Benoit himself even had was that the Camarilla wanted to own the things. So
It wasn't originally. This kind of like
Yeah.
the conversation goes. Everyone gets their horse put up. You know what I mean? Like, and he's walking at this point out of the mine with you. That thank God that headache kind of stops.
Barnaby's
He's like-
safely playing with the dust on the
Yeah.
ground. Just kind of
Yeah.
intrigued by the whole idea.
Yeah.
You see,
The fact that it melted him.
in the beginning, the Camarilla was meant for protection. Honestly, a way to enforce the all continued existence.
Well, now it enforces the continued power. So, a mind like this, my professional opinion, I mean, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
This is a big
Yeah,
deal.
you don't just see one
Yeah.
entrance. There's like multiple things going into this mountain.
The Primogens at least would be involved in this, and possibly the Elders, and they would take control of this personally and appoint people. This would no longer be. This will no longer be yours. Eventually, is what I'm saying. This is too big of a deal, even for you. You're not a Primogen. This is beyond your pay grade.
I chose not to be a Primogen. I chose to be a scourge and then explore.
Yes, you chose that, which means that your discoveries will eventually fall into the hands of.
I will
The
be
rest.
expected to give part of my resources back to the Camarilla to buffet their coffers, the same way that you will be expected to pay me taxes within my region, if you decide to continue to be what what you are planning on being, but there is a pay structure that I helped. Well, I mean, I'm not really a financial man, I'm more of a policy man, but there will be, yes, I understand, I will have to give a percentage to this. But them taking it over gives another prince's sovereignty. They'd have to send just a cause to try to assassinate me.
All I can say, Cap, like I put like a gentle hand on his shoulder, just very gentle, you know.
There is a moment of, do you think we're there yet? Yeah, right. He doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't kick it off.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah.
No, Allison knows what he's doing. He puts a hand on his.
Read the room. Yeah.
A lot of papers have been signed in 100 years.
Contract is a contract.
So a lot of things might have. I could offer you the ability to catch up on what's been going on and make your own decisions, but you're an intelligent and strong survivor out here, but you are woefully unprepared for the Camarilla in its present state.
Sounds like they not really have everything that, not all their ducks in a row. And he points over to you, Barnaby. Like, your sire was allowed to escape and never teach you. That is considered, I mean, first of all, in a proper society, you would have put down, and so would your sire have been put down. Honestly, that's not the way, it hinders you to such a degree to have not been given the simple basic education.
So death is the punishment of that?
Well, it would have been for your sire. He abandoned you.
Sure, I don't disagree. I'm just saying, for me.
Your potential to break the masquerade because of your inability to understand it is grounds for.
Yeah,
a
if
final
nobody
death.
taught you the traditions, how do you know what to? How would you have known what to follow? You know, that
it
kind
is-
of.
In my day, you would have to
Concern.
be adopted, which would have been very rare, because then that individual is choosing not to make one of their own, which is a
Yeah.
very seldomly given right. So, I mean, it's possible that you could have lived. Maybe if the gangrel in question had a big enough stake, and you could have inherited. You have no memory of it. See, that's the Camarilla that I left. That was so much work would have been done upon your behalf and against your sire.
Well, the problem with these new lands is that it's easy to just push these things out into the wild. You know, the Camarilla is not really interested in upholding a masquerade that doesn't matter in a city that doesn't exist, when they could be building their power. So, Barnaby escapes. Why send resources to one fledgling vampire who's probably going to die in the sun? If he does go feral, and he does break these traditions, who's out there to tell the story? How much are these towns communicating? You know, the farther west you go, the more desolate it becomes.
You
Ghost
know-
towns exist. I mean,
Perhaps I understand your not wanting to join the Camarilla. Maybe it's not the same organization.
I'd
than
be
it
happy
was.
I'd be happy to give you the literature and allow you to make that decision for yourself. But there is.
But then why can't we just recreate it here? I was one of the founders. I know its original reasons and prospects.
Because
Like-
the
Being part of maybe the forgotten Camarilla could be safe here with me. Like, it doesn't feel like any one of you were raised up in the same times that I was. In fact, I knew both of your sires, looks at Rose, and they were pipsqueaks when I met them.
time moves forward. Decisions are made. Contracts are signed. Treaties are renegotiated. Contracts are expired. It's like asking where the King of France is when they're no longer a monarchy.
You're kidding me.
Sorry to
What did you just say?
I forgot to tell him. Okay, yeah. France is no longer. So yes, you know,
What are they?
I don't know. Canonically.
I was like, something's
We
1880.
we didn't go support the French Revolutionary War, so that means that they would still be an opposed dictatorship, or like
Yeah,
we didn't support
my
them.
French history is a little rusty, so.
Uh,
And by
it-
rusty, I mean non-existent.
I was gonna say
It
mine's
is
not
in its
existent.
third republic.
Right, so there would be liberty there, but it would be a republic, not a
Yeah.
liberty.
It's a regime based on parliamentary supremacy.
Yeah. So essentially the strongest party will make all
Yeah.
the.
Right.
So I briefly explained that there's no more kings in France.
I always was a fan of the crowns. It's too bad.
Well, England is
And the
still there.
French do know how to party. I didn't tell you that.
What I'm saying is that the world is different.
So why don't we just bring it back? Make America great again.
God.
1884.
Right.
He was the first one. Yeah.
Been making America great since 1884.
Return
Because
it.
what you have here makes sense.
Of course. And
What
he-
you have now, I understand.
like what he's
But-
gesturing to
yeah.
is like it's really nice. There's
Yeah.
families. There's like the
But it's because you.
Yeah.
no one's in
it's-
fear.
It's because you made it, Cap.
Not the
You
Camarilla.
did.
Yeah.
The Camarilla will take over this town. And you will no longer have these decisions. You will no longer have these powers. Even as a prince, you will be severely limited. You become more of a figurehead. You will only matter to other kindred. You will have no influence on this town. Your job duties will be relegated to the Camarilla, keeping order within that as more kindred flood into your town. That is what you will do. They will take care of your mines, they will take care of your infrastructure, your tax codes, the people coming in, the people going out. You will be there to make sure that we do what we're supposed to do, and we take care of the people below us, and that's it. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
We need to have a much longer conversation when it comes to
Good, because
supporting.
I'm sneezing silver here.
yeah.
Yeah. It does hurt. a
And
little
Barnaby's
bit.
still
but like,
kicking it up.
and like yeah, right. And like
Barnaby, please.
as you say that,
I cough up
This
blooded
stuff
like a
is
handkerchief.
Crazy. Like, this stuff is really.
I think I'm getting the
wow.
black lung, pup.
yeah, right, yeah.
It burns, but it burns so good.
You've
No,
been
it
working
burns
for 2
bad.
hours. Yeah. Mailman, no. Merman.
I'm
No,
a merman.
yeah, as he looks like towards like his enterprise. and
Do we
he's-
come out with sunburns?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit.
Probably.
Actually, it would look more like
Kinda
what's
pink.
that?
Burnt, a little bit burned
Yeah.
a little.
Yeah, I mean like little first-degree burns.
We
you
walk
know
out.
what
I
mean?
feel like a brisket.
Yeah.
Oh, it was intense. Like you've never seen. In fact, the world really hasn't seen like pure silver mines. It really only existed in this small area in Vegas. But we're literally called the Silver State. Like
Did I feel anything with the tattoo?
other than
That's it. It doesn't care.
yeah, right, yeah.
So basically, the snake is me.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Got it.
exactly.
Canonically, that's all the sniffles in
Yeah.
from the snake tattoo.
Snake has
He
eyes.
goes, I don't want you to take this wrong. And there is a lot of conversation to be had because that is new information to me. In fact, catching lightning in a bottle by itself is something I did not anticipate.
Yeah, I can't wait. I would love to have a light bulb in my house.
A light bulb.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said some shit.
But
Or they call him
It
Edison.
makes-
They call him Edison.
yeah, right, yeah, right. It makes sense. This is the part I don't want you to take me wrong about. It makes sense that you share your power. It's not, as far as I can tell, you all have different strengths, but equal abilities. You're a collective of individuals that can coexist when it comes to power. For you all bring the same equal pieces. Now, if you,
please stop kicking the silver.
yeah, right. Now, if you'd like me to become Baron, are you under the impression that you're my equal?
I am not going to tell you what to do with your town.
No.
I am here to provide you the information that I
But we
feel you
will,
are
but
lacking.
we will be a collective. barons upon barons' grounds. How will you justify you being able to have the same amount of votes as I do? And I don't mean to be disrespectful. It just is plainly ridiculous.
In regards to what?
Into-
Your land or ours?
Into this territory.
Well, that would be a different conversation.
If
see,
you want me to hold up a front against the Camarilla, that means that we'd have to be united in choice. And also, I could no longer keep myself in the Camarilla, because then I would be a deposed prince.
They
of my
don't
own.
know of you anymore. You're not part of the Camarilla as far as anybody is concerned.
to be fair, he's retroactively, yeah.
No, I understand that the status is there.
No, you're both correct, is what I'm saying.
But if I become a baron, I will not get to be able to say what is best for the area. And I've lived
You will.
I just-
I
I-
mean, you will be able to say what's
to
best
tell
for there.
you, I can do that from the Camarilla position I currently have as a prince, and you being an anarch living within my territory.
As a prince, you can control me.
I can.
As a baron, you can control yourself.
If you're looking at a wave of the Camarilla, eventually you'll need a general, someone to speak, someone to be the most important voice in the room. And I don't blame you for being quite as... I've lived a long time. There'd be no one would expect you to be able to do what I can do. Orderly, speaking, fantastic new ideas, new innovations. We can say that there's a possible overlap, but not when it comes to raw power. And you outvoting me on a place of especially security, commons, and to deal with an entity that is strong as the Camarilla.
And I can't outvote you. Your town is your town.
Yeah, and if we all are coming to the table with separate, unique, and specific
As far as I'm concerned, yeah.
talents,
yeah.
then perhaps security is
An alliance between our town are still separate towns that would have to go to the Camarilla, still separately.
right.
The votes would be not equal; they would just be different votes.
Mm-hmm.
Your votes would be for your town, and my votes would be for my town. But we can work together as an alliance to make sure both of our towns are as strong as possible. But again, I wouldn't want you to rush into a decision. I can give you literature that I've brought to take a couple of nights, read it about what's happened in the Camarilla, and tell me if it's the Camarilla you so desperately want to believe it is.
Right when you say that, I'd like you to roll a wits and intelligence roll.
Wits and intelligence?
Wit and int.
No, sorry. Wits and awareness roll.
Okay.
No, this is it's something he specifically said that has to do with what.
Do I have any extra? You know what? It's been a while since I got to roll well, so I'm going to burn one willpower and make it 3 successes. Because I back up to 4 anyway.
When you
so.
say I brought this literature to you, it was never your plan. It was in the back of that binder that your servant gave you. That's not what you were researching. He snuck in stories about the
My style guys are
Camarilla
full of
and
books.
some
It's
of
so
the,
funny.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some of the bad things the Camarilla has done in the last, like politically bad, like mistakes. Like even other Ventru would be like, yeah, we fucked up here. This should have been handled differently. It's like turning on, Fox News compared to CNN. Depends on whatever camp you're in. This is the other side of the story.
What I'm bringing you is NPR.
Yeah, right. There you go. I mean, definitely like a blow up of, and then and it's, scathing. You didn't ask him to do that part. That's not even what you were working on. It dawns on you when you go, I can show you literature about the Camarilla, because you breezed through it, didn't really think about the back of the binder.
Yeah.
But it is unsettling that this person made that jump.
You see Alistair gets like a 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah,
Just-
right. Like, what is that about?
Maybe like looks.
So I go over, I get the binder, and I hand him the stuff, and I'm like, just read through this, and then we can have a discussion.
He like turns the first page and he like,
The
I'm surprised you even understood that part. Like the part that your servant had
Yeah.
circled, and like it was actually this way, not the other
Yeah.
way. Like just the flower.
if you look at the last third of this binder, you'll find more recent things. But if you read through this and just give it a glance, and then we can talk. But
he nods.
I don't want to overpower a conversation because you weren't prepared to have it, and that's that's unfair. Because that's just going to create tension.
He goes, I would take offense to that. And he's like looking at the first couple pages. He's like, but your understanding of my treaty is far beyond most people. I mean, just the notes you've put here.
Yep,
Yeah.
You bet.
it's a good treaty.
I mean, some of these arguments I thought I hit quite well.
You did.
I mean, this passage right here. Astounding, you understood the subtext.
Okay, well, when you're done jerking yourself off.
Yeah, but all he's talking about is the notes that
Yeah,
your servant
no, I
had
know.
done. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways,
He
take
is-
the evening, and we can have another discussion together.
You've obviously studied a lot of my work. I will take this personally. Kind of nods. Enjoy the camp. You know what
Give
I
like
mean?
a thumbs up to Barnaby.
All right. As he leaves, you see his men kind of like go. A couple of like oddly enough, the Roman-looking guy, actually Greek. Sorry, Greek when it was taken over by Rome. So yeah, actually very Greek. That would make him. Like a bunch of the kids from the camp like run up and like hug his legs, and he's like kind of petting them. He's kind of like the more, very surprisingly, because he was the more animalistic when he like walked through the court. You see, specifically you, Barnaby, you felt like this random buzzard had been like following you, and like he finally stops and he sits down, and then he goes washes his face in the river, and the buzzard lands next to him and takes a drink of water, and he like pats the buzzard.
Guys, are we gonna talk about how Cap has enough silver to take over Europe?
Yeah, that's certainly a change of events, and one that we need to figure out how to manipulate into our favor.
I mean, sorry, don't want to interrupt because I love this. Historically, Vegas had enough silver called Battleborn State to change the course of the war.
Yeah.
We're talking about this much silver.
Yeah.
I think that no matter what comes of the next couple of days, we have to stay on an amicable level.
That's why I gave him that binder because, I mean, he's been out here for 100 years.
Yeah, I think that
And he's, I mean, he hasn't lost his mind or anything, but he's, in other words, he's ignorant to what's happening.
he's still fetishizing what the Camarilla used to be instead of,
Yeah, he thinks it's old Europe.
yeah,
And
and it's certainly not that.
no. I mean, this is a different entity. I mean,
Mhm.
it's built on greed and
Distrust.
distrust, and because what we need to get him to understand is that unclaimed land has never really existed, or hasn't existed since the elders.
Right.
Even the Primogen, they came up to, by the time they had become that, the land had already been developed.
Mhm.
The people were there. This is unmarked territories. And the Camarilla sees nothing but
Tax dollars.
tax dollars and opportunity, and I mean, there's a crushing weight of them because
Yep.
even within that, there's infighting in the Camarilla itself. Because if you can establish yourself, you're the first one there,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and then you can fight it, and it's precarious and it's disgusting.
And uncomfortable.
Yeah, very, very uncomfortable.
Yep.
And you spend 50 years looking over everybody else's fucking contracts as they try to get one up on another.
And that's all that it is. It's exhausting.
You know the best part about it? At the end, the Primogen and the Elders were still reaping all the benefits.
Of course.
Of all of this.
Top heavy.
Yeah, and you look at this mining group, and you smell meat cooking over fire. You know, I mean, they're not poor, for sure.
Right.
The Camarilla will take this the second they catch wind of that. They will bring out probably 2 Justicars just to protect the mine. And then I'd say probably a Primogen to come make sure that everything is in order, and then they will start developing. And Cap will be sorely mistaken if he thinks that all of this will be anything more than a thank you.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them seize the territory.
They will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is too important not to. Now, if he had built just a little city, I mean, there's an argument to be made, but this changes everything. I mean,
Does.
he's essentially damned himself.
As you say that, you do notice that one miner, and he just comes out and he's like takes his shirt to get the dust off, and it's just like that amount of money.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, thankfully, the wind isn't like the wind's in your favor and
we're
it blows
okay.
it
We're
away.
upwind. All right.
Yeah,
all
but
right.
I mean, like, just think about like how much money he's just dusting on, like, ugh,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? Like,
Covered in it.
yeah, just covered in pure silver.
I mean, not to mention that I believe
All right.
believe you said something. You said something about the Sabbat, which I was unfamiliar with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything till now. But
Yeah. They're establishing in Mexico, and I believe.
it's a stone's throw away.
Yeah, I believe a lot of the Tremere are gathering that way as well.
Barnaby, as they say, Mexico. You get a little shiver through you.
This
Why?
is your fault.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's
No, I know.
he's of Mexican descent.
No, I know, that's why.
And he doesn't have a memory of how he happened. He just
Yep.
woke up. So you hear Sabat,
Yeah, right.
you hear Mexico.
Skyrim style.
Like there's a, like a shiver.
You okay there, Barnaby?
Yeah. I don't know. Something about the Sabbat giving me a weird vibe.
Yeah, it does that.
yeah.
But with this, I mean, look, either way, if he stays with the Camarilla,
Mhm.
is what it is, we can still more or less demand resources to protect them.
Yeah, and we.
And this changes that. So we at least, there's, whether he's an ally with the Camarilla or if he declares himself anarch, which is a snowball chance in hell, but it's there. I can see in him that desire for independence after 100 years outside of the Camarilla to
Yeah,
be faced with giving it all away.
Yeah, of towing the line for people who have completely forgotten him. That's
The seed is planted.
Horrifying,
The
yeah.
seed is planted, and we'll
Mhm.
see where it goes. But that changes.
Oh, no, you're good.
Or angle.
That actually fixed it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
That
more room.
changes. That changes everything.
I hadn't looked up to see your bald head in a while, and that was just funny to me.
Knocked over.
Yeah.
no.
The moon.
So, I guess we'll see what he says tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that the next couple of days we need to simply, I mean, oh, gosh, we need to covertly plant more of those kinds of thoughts in his head, I think, in order for him to really give it a chance. We need to underscore the change and how much different everything is since he left.
I will say, in the words of Benoit, as I said earlier,
Mhm.
a man true does thirst twice.
Mm.
I mean, it's 30 minutes early, but it's a really good stopping spot.
No, that's right on time.
Oh, perfect. There we go. Thank you so much for joining us at Vampires and Vitae. As always, thank you so much for joining us at our table. And just